Hi everyone, good afternoon. It's 3:36 on the clock. 3 is the Empress, 36 is the Ten of Wands. The weight of the world on your shoulders, the Atlas energy. And so let's go ahead and begin. Let's take 3 deep breaths. I want you to take a really deep breath and hold it for a little bit, whatever you're comfortable with. You want to get that oxygen to the tip of your toes, your crown, your fingertips, and the tips of your ears. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Lots of love and blessings to everybody. So I have a bunch of different little reads. They're all quicker reads than usual, but I actually have more reads than usual because I have 2 from the Lenormand Reverie, and I have 2 really quick union reads, and then the main twin flame read. So I'm going to start with the last one actually from the Lenormand Reverie, which is a message of the day today. And first I want to show you the first 2 cards because the message that came through first had to do with the why in the road and the energy of nesting in the home. So the underlying energy for this read was the moon, but you can see in the stand for the moon, see how the stand is here and then you have like the why in the road with the supports here. And the menorah came up recently too, which is very much the same shape, but the energy of the why in the road came up here. And then also these are like fingernail covers for pets these days. They look like their nails were polished or something. That's coming up too, so you may have a pet who's got their nails covered. But also the same shape came up in the first card out, which is the storks, but you see the Y in the road of the tree. So again, the Y in the road and the Y in the road down here. But what it was showing in the read that comes up now is the ideal place for the nest is right inside the Y in the road, like you see on the road when two streets split and there's a property right on the corner, which is unusual. That's a very good energy right there. So those were the first 2 cards, the moon being the underlying energy and the first card out being the storks, which has to do with deliverance. And they're both looking up, and here's the read. It was a very profound read. This is why I wanted to give it to you first. Actually, they all have good information, but all right, so yeah, and I want you to see too, when you draw a Y and you put the 0 for a head inside the Y, like where the nest should be with the moat around it, the picture literally comes up like that, and it looks like 2 people praying or, with their hands out, feeling the energy coming in, or saying yay, like hip hip hooray. All right, so this one was done at 12:28 to 29 today. And 12 is the Hanging Man. This was this afternoon. And 28 is the 2 of Wands, and then 29 the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Wands and 3 of Wands. So that choice of path, but also being present in the moment, the now moment, staying in this moment. And I'm going to show you the pictures first. I'll show you that one first since we're going to do that read first. So this is the read I'm about to tell you, and the message from it, the message of the day. And then we also have 2 union reads. They're really quick ones though, so they're like one doing one. So for those of you not familiar, it's a 4D, 5D, 60 read. 4D, 5D, 60. Divine Feminine incoming over here, outgoing over here is masculine. The underlying energies and the closing energies at the top, the Syrian Starseed deck. The second quick union read is this one, the same setup. And then here is the Twin Flame read that you see in front of you on the table. This is the 7-deck read. Again, the Syrian Starseed deck is the main deck. And then here's the second Lenormand read that we have. Okay, and then you see this whole 7-deck read in front of you, which I showed you. Okay, we're going to roll the die as well. Let me do that first before we get into this first quickie. And for the Twin Flames, the dice say we have the number 12, which is the Hanging Man and Wisdom. It's also the end of the cycle of the 12. the wisdom of the 12. We also have Taurus here, so the energy of Taurus. And also 12 can be the 12th month of December. Also the Hangman, for me, it's traditionally Pisces, but I always see it as Capricorn. So both of those signs could be coming up, Pisces, Capricorn, and Taurus. And then we have Mars over here. So very masculine, aggressive energy here, along with, a mixture of energies, really, right? We have Taurus, Mars, which is very like Aries, Scorpio energy, and then the 12 of Pisces energy. So let's see how this goes. Because Pisces or Capricorn, actually, depending on which cycle the energy is coming up on. So this first read from the Lenormand Reverie that I showed you regarding the Y in the road. First, July was coming up as really significant. This has come up before in the past couple weeks, that this is Christmas in July, which is like the feminine's Christmas, as opposed to Christ Mass. It's like the Sophia Mass, or the E Mass is the way it came up. And I was getting the most important time of the year. I can't remember the actual little song there, the jingle for Christmas. The most important time of the year. But anyway, that's the tagline that was coming up when I was getting July, and July came up in the code line from the main read. But it came up more than once. It wasn't just that one time. So July's been coming up as it's like the most important month of the year is what I was getting today. So here's the message of the day. The underlying energy of the moon, which is Cancer in July. The mid-moon, which I keep bringing up the 17th as being a specifically important day. It is the exact point of the mid-cycle, as opposed to the new moon or the full moon. It's the mid-cycle. The claw covers for the pets, again on the 17th. Two storks nesting with a breakthrough of sun, looking up. So it's also telling you on the 17th to look up when the sun is at the midpoint of your house. It was very interesting the way it was coming up. So like in the morning when the sun rises. So for me, the sun positions at a certain time right at the center of my house. So it's being guided to look up on that day. So when the sun is low on the horizon at the middle of the nest or home, AM rising, the nest between two roads where they split, and then I was guided to look at my road and where it splits from the road that comes off of it, and what was in the middle of that, like what was in the Y in the road. And actually there's a country club right there, which I never would have thought of that before. So country club, that came up earlier this week too. So that's coming up, and also new homes. There's another area where they're building new homes a few blocks away from where my house is. So again, when you come up to a new neighborhood, it's usually a T in the road, right? Because then you have the entrance to the new facilities. But it's also guiding you to don't just look at the T, but as you enter the facility, like if it's a group of homes, there's another Y in the road as you cross the road. So there's always that Y in the road. Okay, so some of you may be looking for new homes. It may be guiding you to what the right home is at the Y in the road, not the one on the circle, but the one that's right at the Y in the road where the roads split. And then the energy or idea of the moat circling around the house as well. So 2 for T and T for 2, Y's and T's in the road, but T or Y's upon the entrance into the grouping, holding up the weight of the world, and that could be waiting as well. The new home or nesting, and again the 17th, which is the star, or home with child with a burden requiring a serious talk or wise counsel. And again, that was coming up specifically as tomorrow on the 12th as well. Perhaps a contractor for the powers that be, or perhaps dealing with false advertising, or perhaps problems with technology, or just lots of talk and tweeting, power in numbers, and cracking the whip with rod and staff. As the G, like the balloon that flew off on the 9th for me when I was jogging, the God balloon in the sky, and their magic broom was coming up as the string, right? Because the string on the balloon is like the string that ties all of the pearls together, right? The string of pearls, which connects us all through our wounding. Free advertising from the powers that be, the mother bear pushing the open door policy, freeing the bird from the nest, pushing the child out of the nest to grow their own tree, the key to their freedom, the rainbow bridge through the trunk of the tree, the heart. The roots is the root chakra, the fruit being the crown, but the trunk of the tree is the heart, the middle and the peak of the rainbow, the arch or the arc. Noah's Ark, 2 by 2s, in 2 heartbeats, pa-bum, pa-bum. The father's root was coming up here because the father's heart equals the child's root, because the child takes on his false advertising, so to speak, right? Whatever his wounds were, the child takes on, right? He's the protector of the family. The child needs to listen to the father, right? So the child starts out with this root from their father, and the mother's job is to get the child away from the root to the heart, to burn twin bridges so they can't return, to go on a journey of self-discovery through the labyrinth to find their way home again, through the layers of the veil, wandering aimlessly, confused and separate until they are not. The cyclones around the vortex, the moats around the castle, circling round and round, right? All those patterns that we keep repeating. But the last roundabout before getting home is that moat. It's just a matter of choosing to climb out and try something new, only to find that there's no place like home, but now with more gratitude. The commitment to child, the brass ring, the ruby slippers, is a key code on how to get back once you're done being bitten by the snake, to overcome and create abundance then, the secrets and knowledge of big institutions and technology, travel and connecting with other cultures, to examine more closely, well, what are our differences? Or are we the same? Wow, they had mothers too? They had rod and staffs? They have music and jobs and a public life, adventures to find their bliss and gifts from the family and challenges as well? And that was at 111. So then at 112, which is justice of the 11 and 12 of the hanged man, or wisdom, after overcoming the obstacles, finding out that, boy, other people really are the same as us, that the obstacle, the good luck in navigating the way home, with death, endings, transitions, and 5D connecting, and the child's sense of mortality, and then remembrance of the ring of fire, the circle of trust, the clicking of the heels 3 times, the dance or the cracking of the codes to where you belong, back to where you once belong, something gnawing at you about your childhood, poison apples and venom and crosses, oh my, where Chiron then returns, the power of the man and the power man and the power woman, his wisdom and abundance, her secret knowledge of heaven on earth, and Snow White and the 7 dwarfs, Cinderella and all her animal friends, finding the anchoring that belongs to the spaceship tweets, the bird feeder of distant travels, and anchoring them in at the bottom of the deep blue sea, with your eyes, your heart, and with the collective consciousness of unity consciousness. This little light, oh mine, of hopes and dreams and galactic travel, magnetic examination to see, and electric whipping into shape with circles, stars, and chakras, and library books that had been misplaced. And there was a side comment here, power women, make sure to return to sender, perhaps with a thank you, or especially why it was a negative experience for you, or a need to write a book to all those who refused to listen before, for those who now will choose to read it and listen, cutting away the crap in the public life and the powers that be, those pushing their agenda on thee, and then bringing up the well water to purify why, and repeating patterns, oh, on the carousel ride for fun, to get the key, the brass ring, only to get nauseous and then want to get off as soon as possible. Dirty water in that well, it was polluted, but never would have realized this if you hadn't gone and searched, because mom had kicked you out of the house. The loving man with a gift and strong healthy family tree exposes all in the sunshine about the mountains and burned bridges as well. The luck of the draw, or as luck would have it, in a scientific breakthrough regarding commitment to the inner child. 2 as 1, the pearl that evolved from the bacteria, the virus, the venom, and the crosses to bear. 2 as 1, co-creating, as the power man is doing and the power woman is communicating or writing. His abundance, her secret knowledge, his wisdom, her heaven on earth. About the loyal pup, wanting a ship to anchor onto or to grab onto, who was then led astray by the fox, Star, who's magnetic and impatient, or with rod and staff, quick as a whip, or cracking the whip, who's now growing up or maturing, becoming more spiritual and peaceful and calm, with the loving lady with well wishes, and following their true north to expose all, including the loving man at 253, which is the High Priestess and the Knight of Swords. Both sharing in the same direction. He reviewing the idea of the power couple, and she being led astray in order to come together at three faces of the mountain and of Eve in Burned Bridges Part 3 of timeline collapses. Back to 0 point, where time doesn't exist, where bridges burn, desolate and dry, and mountains survive the test of time. But the sun burns too much of a good thing, in a dizzying cycle of multiple faces, becoming the Tasmanian devil and then taking off. 0 point in looking back now. The appointed hour at 2:59, which is 2 of the High Priestess and the 59 of the 11th hour, but also the 5 of Swords, right? Ending the war within. So there's your message of the day from the storks and from the moon in July, Cancer. And so now we have first the union read. So there's 2 really quick union reads, and you have the pictures of both of them, and then we have the twin flame read, and then we have another Lenormand message for you. Okay. And by the way, the Serengeti plains is what was coming up the other day when I couldn't think of, I was thinking of jetties and Getty, but I couldn't remember the Serengeti plains in northern Tanzania, which I guess was bringing up the Tasmanian devil, because that just came up again regarding the cyclone around the vortex and the 3 faces of Eve, okay, and the mountain. So this first union read at 2:33 was the High Priestess and the 33 of the Christ vibration, the 7 of Wands and standing up for yourself, for the 4D, 5D, 6D on 7/11, which is today. And it started out with the Queen of Swords and the underlying energy, the 6 of Cups in the center, and the 2 of Swords as the closing energy for the read. So I'm not going to tell you each card as I normally do for each level, because you have the read. You can look back at them if you need to. But here is the message. So the Queen of Swords, with the handle on the truth about war and the inner children loving each other, holding on, knowing and floating on air, as the incoming divine feminine, the student curious about crystal abilities, the 2 of Cups in energetic exchange, and the circle of trust. Air sign woman and earth sign child, perhaps in a loving connection there. So that could be the divine feminine bonding with a child or her own inner child. The 4D here is the divine feminine taking steps to spiral up again 2 by 2, step by step, and yours, mine, and ours came up, the movie, synchronicities and options, and the 7-step program. The divine masculine walking away at the 8 of Cups, all lined up, where the land meets the sea, going to find the missing piece or sit on the beach, bridging with karma, with key to forgiveness and lotus open, judgment, announcement, wake-up call to end a cycle. It looks like that cycle is a cup cycle that's ending here, which is emotion-based. And then at 5D, we have the divine feminine with the Knight of Wands, royal hot and with a slow burn, the divine masculine with the Empress, who's abundant, loving, and motherly, and the bridge between them, the 6 of Cups, loving innocent children holding on to each other. The 6D here is the divine feminine sharing, the divine masculine patient, and bridging with sudden events, epiphanies, and or sex with dramatic events and Spidey's fall when lightning struck 12. And then Ben Franklin came up, and he came up the other day too because of smallpox and the vaccine stuff coming up around that, and then relating those articles today. So Ben Franklin keeps coming up in the news. There's some kind of news article that comes up every day. But that came up again too today because his 4-year-old son he was going to get it wasn't a vaccine back then, it was an inoculation, which is just injecting a little bit of the virus in. It's not all this other stuff that's going into the treatments these days. But it came up because Ben Franklin was going to give the inoculation to his 4-year-old son, and before he got a chance to do that, his son actually passed away after having diarrhea. So that they just wanted that message to come up. So the Divine Feminine here is going upstairs to the Knight of Wands to share or settle out. The Page of Cups babysitter, perhaps babysitting for a hot man and their kids, to perhaps make some extra money, but unable to take advantage of that offering at this time. And then the Divine Masculine walking, leaving, leaving to go to the mother lode in the water, which is emotions, alchemizing, blending, or feeling like a beached whale, and being patient for balance to happen. The bridge coming up here as karma of innocence and shocking events, and the outgoing Divine Masculine, the Page of Swords with the message at the top of Mount Everest, or out of the woods with little light, surrendering to all where land meets sea, and sitting on the beach in 5D connection, walking on the jetties in the mists of Avalon, or a hazy or lazy day, just floating or numb comfortably. I'm also getting hum, so maybe someone's humming to themselves as they're walking. The number for this read came out as 45, which is the 5 of Cups, the grieving, loss, regret, guilt, and shame, and the need to let go of the past. The horizontal pillars came out to 8, 6, and 31, which is strength, lovers, and 5 of Wands, which can be conflict, but also the pursuit of happiness. And then the vertical pillars came out as 2, 8, 13, 6, 8, 2, 6, and then the 45 of the 5 of Cups. So the 2 High Priestess, the 8 the Strength, 13 Death, 6 Lovers, 8 Strength, 2 High Priestess, and 6 Lovers again. So the message was coming up here. Oh, by the way, the Divine Feminine had no major arcana on her side, and she had the Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Knight of Wands. The Divine Masculine had Sagittarius and Taurus on his side with the Page of Swords, which can be a message as well. Between them was Aquarius, Scorpio, and kids, and or innocent love. And the feminine was coming up with Seeker 2 and 8, and the Masculine was coming up as Seeker 2 and 4. And that could be the High Priestess and the Emperor, the High Priestess and Inner Strength, or the 24 of the Queen of Wands and the 28 of the Twin Flames. So the messages were coming up as strength or ego lovers. So that could be ego-based lovers, or the quote-unquote strength of lovers or strong lovers like the power couple, and the fight or expansion through grief and regret and sadness of the past. And then the other side was coming up as a secret weapon in the transition of lovers' dance, and inspired by purging, the twin flame transformation of the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, grieving the past. And as I started shoveling, is somebody shoveling? I don't know if someone's thinking someone's shoveling a pile of you-know-what as well, but that could be coming up right now too. But I actually meant to say shuffling. When I was shuffling for the next union read, these are the cards I kept seeing in a row. I wasn't looking particularly, but they kept showing me these cards. And the first card was the Lovers, then the Tower, then the 2 of Cups in a row, then the Divine Masculine's Heart, and the Hermit, the 3 of Cups, and then the Destiny card of the Wheel of Fortune, were all the cards I kept seeing when I was shuffling the deck, all in a row. The second union read was at 5:25 yesterday, at 5 p.m., which is the Hierophant, 25 of the Knight of Wands. For the 11th today, 7/11, today's the 11 of Justice, and adds up to the 23 of the King of Wands, the Man of Passion. And we had the Ace of Swords in the underlying energy, the 8 of Swords in the center, and then the 3 of Pentacles at the end of the read. The truth of hiding at work. The incoming Divine Feminine here, with the Divine Feminine twin flames connected 1-to-1 and sharing, balanced 2 of C, and woof was coming up, so that could be a cat call, but that also could be a dog, right? Woof, woof, woof. 2 of woof, so maybe you have 2 dogs. But 2 of C, 2 of twins, googly-eyed, reflecting by the C, C, C. The 4D with the divine feminine, innocent and loving, one-on-one, loves to hug and bond, where the divine masculine is coming up as the Page of Cups, innocent with an open heart, that's all given to the workplace or place of co-creation, all of it. Bridging with the King of Pentacles, crystal skull, Akashics and crown opening, the bubble phase. The 5D here is the divine feminine with the divine masculine's heart on her side, sending his love, inner child to inner child. The divine masculine with grieving female on his side, left in the woods by the creek or up Schitt's Creek, unable to look up at the 2 cups before her. Neither can he. Bridging by covering eyes, hugging trees by the creek, feeling their way through to the other side. The 6D is here is the divine feminine indigo proposal of crystal and truth. The divine masculine higher self with plasma ether and the book of records and Dead Sea Scrolls at 535. The Hierophant and the Wounded Warrior. The Northern Lights and the Mother also coming up here. And bridging with the Ace of Wands, one big flame ignited, inspired, where the divine feminine is the 6 of Cups, holding on to the divine masculine's heart, the indigo proposal of truth, and the divine feminine waiting to play ball, the divine masculine with the Page of Cups, innocence, leaping out of the salt water and grieving by the fresh water and the lilies, purging his higher self and Akashic records. The bridge being the King of Pentacles and Akashics, the crystal skull. Hiding, but no one is seeking. Again, we're playing hide and seek here. Both are still counting, right? In hide and seek, one counts while the other one hides. Well, here, now they're both still counting and peeking out to see if someone has shown up yet, the arrival. The outgoing divine masculine here is the Empress. Abundance and the Emperor, reason. So the Empress is abundance, the Emperor's reason or logic, and the 9 of Cups, satisfaction, with the 3 of Pentacles, workplace and co-creation, where she sees twins, truth and friendly play, one-to-one and sharing, and indigo proposal, where he sees the Empress and the Emperor, them hosting a gala, an event at the workplace, with higher self doing a reading from Akashic records. She sees the 2 of them, he sees him in the power couple image. She's playing, he's working, both inspired to hold out their hands with an offering to each other. Crystal and records, or he free at play, equaling the parents taking care of everything or faking care of everything at work, or parents preparing a wedding for their child or special celebration. The divine feminine had Gemini and Virgo on her side with no court cards, and the divine masculine had Pisces, Taurus, and Aries on his side with the Page of Cups, that very innocent energy. Or the divine feminine is offering to lover with their open heart in the 4D, while the divine masculine is offering indigo proposal from the 6D timeline to the 5D heart to their inner children in the 4D. So they're both like kind of passing to each other in a roundabout way. She expressing her heart back to him once he expresses to her. The divine feminine is on the twin flames are on the divine feminine side, but the Empress and Emperor are on his side, right? The power couple versus, just being love. For her, truth is dolphin's play. For him at work, he gets what he wants, right? He gets his way. The number for this read is the 47 of the 7 of Cups. The horizontal pillars came out the 5, 17, and 25, which is the Hierophant, the Star, and the Knight of Wands. The vertical pillars came out 3, 2, 6, 10, 9, 5, and 12. The Empress, High Priestess, Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Hanging Man. And the messages came out: commitment to dreams, healing, and the Knight of Wands and giddy up, as the Hierophant is the sexy star, seeing synchronicities and having options. The Empress's secret lovers destined to hermiting and committing, or Virgo and Taurus hanging out in sync. All right, so now we have the Syrian Starseed deck cut and dealt for the read in front of you, the 7-deck read. If there's messages that come up that don't resonate with you, don't force them to fit. Some of the messages are going to be for you and some may not. It's a general reading. If you want something specific, my information is below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. And so here we have this read was cut and dealt at 5:55 yesterday afternoon, so 555, which is a whole lot of change. And then we have the TF of the twin flames came up right away in the underlying energies. Also, the 1AC or A1C, the diabetic test, came up as well. And then at 6:07 is the lovers and the chariot, and jealousy came up, and zeal, or being without a self, right? Because if you're jealous, you're not being within yourself, right? Connected to your higher self. At 6:08, LF came up, which means leaf, but it also means two. And for me, of course, I see left right away when I see LF, which is the divine feminine, but leaf and two, so the leaf of a plant. But also, I'm getting gold leaf now. 6:08, which is the lovers and the strength of the dance. Both the 9 of Pentacles and alchemy clarifiers. And next to those cards, the next cards, as I was clarifying, kept coming up as the Ace of Pentacles and giving something to the Queen of Cups upright. So I finished clarifying the read at 6:21, the lovers in the world, which is completion, and the lovers. We had alchemy of the temperance card, justice, indigo, which is the magician, guidance, which is the hierophant, higher self, which is the high priestess, and after the read, strength and the hanging man came up. We had 2 pentacles, 2 wands, 2 swords, no cups in the main part of this read, so 222 is the guidance counselor show, room 222. So your guides coming up. And then we had the court cards in the read, the page of wands, the queen of swords, and also the 9 of pentacles, the sovereign. Before the read was the king of swords, after the read, the queen of pentacles. And the numbers, in addition to 222, we also had triple ones in the read, and in a lesser sense, triple fours. So like major new beginnings, and 444 is the angelic realms, regarding the masters and the angelics. But again, we had 3 numbers that were triple here, very significant. 2, 1, 2, and 4, which is the magician, the high priestess, and the emperor, which is control. It's like the powers that be with the magician and the high priestess. The number 9 was also very significant here, which has to do with endings, compassion, and the collective consciousness. And the code line here is all about personal growth and physical activity, and those words were broken up into purse, onal, grow, WTH, phi, sickle, act, and ivity. That's how they were broken down. So they'll come up in the messages here as well. So coming up, what came up here, well, number 1, JL, but really a reflection of J, like an L that's curved, was coming up. So the picture of that symbol of a J and then an L, like exactly reflecting itself, which is coming up as July. But also Jail Beach came up. So in the beginning of my journey with other feminine twin flames, I was guided that we would come together at some point to Jail Beach. Is that Albania? I'm thinking it is. I'm trying to think of the name of the city. I meant to look it up, but I forget. But you'll see Jail Beach is Jale. But that was coming up as well as July. And Jubaland also came up, which is southern Somalia. It's owned by Britain. And then we have also then JB came up with Johor, Malaysia as well. So the first interpretation here after the numbers here, so besides the numbers I told you, 14 came up, which is the temperance card, 1, 2, 3 jump, 45 of the 5 of cups, the grieving process, the 12 of the hanging man, 49 of the 9 of cups, and 59 of the 5 of swords. So the message, the twin flames say or essay divine reflection, the seeker of new life, and one who is in alternating currents, or 2 in air conditioning, right? Being conditioned by their thoughts and words, the blind men and orphans, or going back and forth in alternating currents. And there's I between all of them. So in the space between I am that I am, it's coming back to self again. So also something came up online with the 1AC, which was called, written out 1, O-N-E, and then AC, Horse Thermal Regulation Supplement. And that was from jefferspet.com. It's not a cure for anhidrosis, but shown as effective if the problem is an imbalance of chemicals in the horse's brain to the noradrenaline/adrenaline complex, 200 grams or a 42-day supply. It helps horses that can't sweat. So I don't know why that needed to come up, but it did. And then here are the other messages that came up. Imana, or Imana is the way the Pleiadians refer to their feminine god. So Imana, or M, the twins, and I am that I am, and fans of them, say, or in an essay of divine reflection, or Jail, a student of the Ace of Pentacles, which is an offer of time, money, and effort, or presenting a new life, or a new manifestation. And then I was getting yakety yak. So yak, don't look back. Yakety yak, don't look back. And then I was getting the colors also came up of purple, blue-green, bluish cloth or carpet, being self-sufficient, disgusting, oh what the heck, and also meth coming up, a drug that's similar to meth, and beginning with the O, or the human embodiment of Source, in the act of co-creation and gratitude. Time out to reflect sadness in co-creation with any JL reflection, which is July, the seeker of new life, proposal, the yak, or that could be a lot of yakking or talking in alternating currents, air conditioning, purple, and also a Turkish person, 144 came up, and what the heck, and the juice of the tree. And Pish, beginning Act 1 of Lovers in Gratitude. So we start this read at the Nine of Pentacles reverse, which is a dependent, right? The Sovereign is not upright, they're reversed. So they either no longer want to be single, they're dependent on someone financially, or they're feeling powerless, or they are powerless, or they've lost power, money, and independence, or spending a lot of money or making a big purchase, or paying bills out, losing a lot. So underneath the Nine of Pentacles reversed was the King of Swords reversed, Two of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Swords upright, Three of Swords upright, and the Four of Cups upright. So the King of Swords was reversed, tripping up in the 5D connection, heartbroken, grounding and integrating and feeling sorry for self, powerless, in death, dark night of the soul, an ending or transition, with the Page of Cups upright, message of love, and walking away, refusing to not believe, working to align and take back what was stolen from them, what dreams may come, and that movie came up this week as well, and what we're able to co-create and manifest. With love offered, post-war, patient angel overflowing with love, with Holy Communion, off the beaten path at 856, which is the strength, and then 56 of the Two of Swords being your knowing, and keeping to yourself, or trying to keep your energy clear for peace of mind. So needing to be patient with self, when grieving a loss, strengthening strengthening 1111. Wait. Or rather streaming, okay. So needing to be patient with self when grieving a loss. Streaming 1111, the tears of love feeding the land, for love conquers all, a higher love that renders you powerless. Letting go to fix and make amends, to bridge the gap of distant families, losing money, power, and independence due to lovers and pets that were adored. Powerless to heaven on earth and true love. Flirt comes up, and beneath that, true love, that this is a love of a lifetime, a romance of a lifetime. The Knight of Cups offering love to the Queen of Swords reversed after detoxing, to come together over a bit with justice for all, and to all a good night, because you're getting out of bed in the morning whether you like it or not. Fairy princess and footsie under the table, footloose and fancy free, no Mary Janes here, bare feet and dainty legs or feet, with 2 spoons of fruit helping the truth go down better about the sword and the flame, or the sizzle stick and the flambe. Compassion comes up here really strong with the 99, and beneath that was institution. Oh, it's not institution, it's intuition, but I wrote institution by accident. So intuition comes up, so there may be institutionalizing your intuition. And that's number 22 of the Fool, keeping your heart open with a leap of faith. Rapunzel suffering in silence in the E-Tower, perhaps, about out the back Jack, needing to swallow their pride and start over again. New information, clarity about feeling trapped with no way out, perhaps of a marriage, a contract, a religion, an establishment, someone who's chained to their foosball table and their throwing stars, perhaps an eye transplant and fingers crossed that they find a way out before their eyes don't work anymore. Hierophant, powerless or losing their independence by purchase or bill. Patient angel, lovers waking up without assistance, or in other words, doing it on their own, waking themselves up, and compassion above all. Underlying energy is the devil upright and the sun reversed, with man on fire in need of their sunshine. Also with Capricorn upright and Leo reversed there. And then after the read, coming up is the Queen of Wands, coming clean or cleaning up the act or home, in a divorce or on break, as the King of Pentacles reversed is unhappy and dropping all their responsibilities. The Queen of Cups upright coming together with the Page of Cups when the Knight of Wands comes over to drop the act of insecure and being without tools at the new moon, and now in control again. Or that could be also being insecure without tools with the powers that be. But the recent past here is divine justice and energetic exchange, detoxing deception coming together at work, defenseless to the energies from the journey and good news of the twin path, with negative self-talk about justice, divorce, Libra, separation, and heartbreak at 10:59, which is a turn for the better, and that 5 of Swords of the war within. The foundation here is alchemy, patience, and higher love, a blending, receiving new passion from the 3 of Cups group or third party on a quest for the impossible dream. The Emperor upright and the Queen of Wands, fighting to end the pain or in a painful ending or betrayal. And the central energy here is the Page of Wands upright, inspired masked boy to learn from an opportunity or invite of an alternative nature, with the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Cups upright, justice or child of divorce, and perhaps a bitchy ex, the King of Cups looking good in front of the judge, offering money, offering a money offer and or a new life. At 11:04, which is justice and the Emperor, the challenge being the Ace of Pentacles, the proposal by the Dark Knight, who may still be bleeding out or injured and left behind, with unhappy family or emotional cycle that's so over. Unhappy and broken, or no way to move or travel, dreams of the High Priestess, Secret, or Pisces, or the Aquarius in Pisces around a sudden change or after a sudden event or epiphany of putting it out there. The stars imbalance of the Page of Cups, unable to express their emotions, destined to new passion and to burn the past, but defenseless to the energies and or attacks, needing courage to walk away, to detox and awaken. And in the now moment, crowning is the Ace of Swords, the truth of synchronicities and rumors and silent treatment, implementing a new plan, standing up for self in a surrender of secret commitment, or Pisces and Taurus, as the King of Swords is reversed, angered that the Knight of Wands is rushing in to save the day, and the Knight of Pentacles upright is no longer obsessing, and together but distant, or apart but close, in the 5D connection and breaking patterns, in separation or journey of surrender, in the new life, a need for peace, stuck in their head but moving forward anyway. Silenced, muzzled, romancing the stone, the Page of Wands upright, but the Page of Swords reversed, without a leg to stand on. The Knight of Pentacles offers, and then a bigger offer to the Queen of Cups, releasing her at a distance or from a partnership with the Empress upright and the King of Wands reversed, destined. The Page of Swords reversed, weak, defenseless to the Page of Wands upright, leaving to detox and awaken, or Capricorn both upright and reversed, or one's a Capricorn upright and one's a Pisces reversed, soon as the Indigo reversed, or Gemini or Virgo reversed, or just no proposal, while the King of Pentacles reversed is awakening, but offering the whole truth to get over the loss, the regret, and the Page of Wands inspired by their past choices, or looking back at twin embarrassing themselves, or falling from grace, or being schooled by the Akashic records. Destined to get over it and choose a path, the Queen of Swords reversed was never the same. Pushed to the point of no return, the twin flames with no guidance, a divorce or a break from a religion or establishment, with an offer or big love from dumping a load from the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, backing it up with a message. In need of strength, courage, health, the Queen of Pentacles reversed making a judgment call, exposing union post-war, or sunshine and celebration, or vacation with kids to stop the fight. Religious factors comes up, which can be any differences, not just religion, but also calling in your soulmate, and you deserve love, as well as this is soulmate, that this is your soulmate, and this could be the one. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Queen of Swords reversed, grounding and integrating the Knight of Cups and being love. In need of balance with falling out in the past, or going crazy, or coming out to sea. The challenge being, or the block, is the Ace of Wands upright at 1131, justice and expansion of the Five of Wands. The Ace of Wands, new passion ignited, the world upside down, or the divine feminine in 5D, after a sudden event, epiphany, or sex, and two falling together or into the same pool. Physical activity, personal growth, and karmic completion, even more so, come up here, where fool falls off the ledge, tripped up by the snake in disconnect or at a distance or in a breakup. Higher self is a patient angel without a leg to stand on, weak and walked in order to detox in the awakening. Or whose bright idea was this anyway? The higher self at 1135, justice in the wounded warrior. The higher self in a higher love. Rumors at a distance, lies and spying and disconnect. The divine masculine's heart in the Batcave coming out about a breakup with the Empress or Taurus, and the King of Wands reverse Libra, or destined to be so. Post-war stretching from frog to prince, and the internal war of closing down the circle of trust, the ring of fire, no more hoops to jump through. The Queen of Pentacles reverse is awake and keeping to themselves, staying clear with peace of mind. The Nine of Pentacles reversed, or dependent, is being patient, or Sagittarius alchemizing, blending but without guidance, or Taurus, Queen of Swords reversed, divine justice or divorce, and the Page of Wands inspired, challenged by a new life, needing tools and confidence, with new passion ignited, the flame. The truth of the higher self in the divine masculine's heart opening up, done fighting within, needing courage to deal with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with Capricorn or in an awakening, and the 5D connection of the heart being broken, and separation and grounding and integrating loss of power, money, and independence in a divorce, justice, or with Libra, marriage, religion, establishment, or Taurus reversed, a higher love of the masked Page of Wands, telling or receiving the truth, challenged by offering a new life or a payoff, in divorce, breakup, religion, establishment, tradition, or manipulations, insecure and without tools. The Queen of Swords reverse is ignited higher self to come out of the Batcave and end the battle of egos, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, awake, or with Capricorn or Pisces in their chart. The Page of Wands inspired around Libra and Sagittarius, but the indigo is not around the Taurus reversed, Pisces reversed, and Queen of Swords reversed. The Queen of Pentacles and Sovereign both reversed, which can be mother and daughter, or a big age difference between two sisters, or just two earth friends. But this mother and daughter, or opposite end, they're on opposite ends of the read here. Leo reversed, Capricorn or Pisces reversed here in this read. All right, so that was the main read. And now here's the last read, which is the second Lenormand Reverie read message from 12:01 a.m. last night, right? The second one was from this afternoon. So this one was from 12:01 last night. And again, July was coming up here. The message, the underlying energy, was the ring of commitment. And the first card out was the rider of adventure. The commitment to the journey and finding the way through the path, through the multiple faces and timelines collapse, during Cancer season, with a handling with kid gloves, the storks nesting and wise counsel, pests exposed, risky business, traveling distance, and bridges burned, unable to go back. 2 hearts in the same direction, of time collapse in Cancer, with a gift of the mountain to climb during the rest of Cancer, with tweets, group conversations, social circles, with a beautiful lady and the fox leading her astray to peace in the sun, while a choice is a gamble, a risky relationship, with message from a distance, and lots of long-distance travel, but the establishment, company, state, or country may be shut down or destroyed. Family, country may be in confusion about home and its direction, with a breakthrough. The gift of time on their hands, with child, or to watch young people overcome obstacles between the sexes. The crosses to bear, gossip about nesting and dreams come true of the loving lady and wise guidance. Cutting the wheat from the chaff regarding pests and scoundrels, well wishes, and a spiritual plan. Or planning a day in the sun, which brings up emotions. So if you spend the whole day in the sun, maybe a lot of emotions come up after that day. With the loving man choosing to take a risk for love, cracking the whip with red tape at a distance regarding death and the 5D connection. With war, destruction, endings, and change regarding the establishment, the state, the institution, in dire straits. Loyal to the family and missing home, inspecting public place to find out about it, asking a child the cost for abundance, the cost of jobs, the cross to bear, the needing to be pushy to get the dream to be free, escape, needing to crack the code of the well, digging deep, the power man without help, like doing it on his own, for the loving man, right? So the power man has to do it without his loving friend, and the power woman is cracking the whip, putting their foot down. Power man and power lady making their own good luck here. And that was the message. So let's pull a couple oracle cards here and see what comes up regarding our ominous Y in the road. Okay, let's go to the animal spirit deck and see what comes up. As it is 52:38 on the clock here, 37 to 38. And 52 is the Queen of Swords, and 37:38 is the King and Queen of Cups. So again, a couple and the Queen of Swords. And the main clock is 4:29. It was 28 to 29, which is the 4 of the Emperor, and the 28 to 29 of the 2 of Wands, and the present moment. All right, let's see what the animal spirit deck has to say. What is our message from these reads today? What do the twin flames need to know? Well, first breathe. See a new perspective. And then these came out together. So here we have the camel and the bear. And the camel has that new Cancer blue moon. See, there we have the CA of the Cancer. Cancer blue moon, the new moon here in the sign of Cancer, where the camel is, an all-in-one. He has his own water, he has his own ride. He's very independent. He doesn't need much else. And that's what's coming about being a homebody right now at the new moon. And then we have the bear, which was coming up as the mother bear a lot today. But the sun is coming up as a bear because it's really hot. And again, you may purge after being out in the sun all day because a lot of energies are coming in, which is portraying right here. A lot of energies coming in from the sun that you may not be used to because they're very extra potent right now. Having your day in the sun may not be all it's cracked up to be. And then these two come out together, the stingray and the spider. There's one more set that's coming out too. Hold on one second. And the bottom of the deck I have to show you as well. So the stingray is coming up with a spider. And again, we see how much more colorful these are compared to the camel and the bear. The camel and the bear, which was coming up with the Cancer energy of now, and BR. BR, R, like a pirate. They're not facing each other, you notice. One's in the rain, one's in the sun, and that's very Cancer and Leo-ish, right? So going their separate ways when Cancer leaves, going into Leo around the 23rd, is that right? I don't know if it's the 22nd, 23rd. And then we have the stingray and the spider, both starting with an S here, a path and the spy, the saint and the spy. The chakra system, you see how colorful we have the whole rainbow spectrum here. This one's within, this one's without. This is like the grid system connecting to the chakra system. And the spider came up yesterday too as being like the lion's den, right? Watch out for the black widow. She'll pull you into her web. But here it's coming up as the rainbow grid. And here it's coming up as the rainbow chakra system, right? Don't judge a book by its cover. Or return a book if you took it out from the library and you never returned it. Came up in the messages today too. So again, this is like as within, without. Like it's like reflecting each other as far as colors, right? Dark in the middle and light on the outside. And then the opposite of the spider's more light with dark everywhere else. So it's like an inversion of color there, like a film, like film of a picture or something like that. And then the last two that came up together is the cheetah, or the cheater, and the phoenix rising here, of the angel, on angel's wings I'm getting, on the wings of angels. So again, phoenix could be coming up for some reason, and foe, which is that Vietnamese, I'm thinking. But we have cheetah, who's got a lot of lower chakra energy, and so does the phoenix, right? Very power-oriented, ego-oriented, the need to win, the need to rise above at any cost, any and all costs. You know, this one's ready to pounce. There's a lot of circling energy there, like dizzying energy. Maybe you feel like you're going to fall over. I was just getting Top Chef here, too. I don't know if someone's into cooking. So Top Chef is coming up, like you didn't see the bottom line there, Top Chef. But also Chi coming up here, and then the phoenix. So there's a lot of energy here. This is like pure passion energy here. Like the cheetah ready to pounce from the tree and the phoenix ready to rise from above. It's like ready to come together in union, in a very heated union here. But no one sees it coming, right? Because they're not looking. This one's jumping to leap and this one's rising, but it's like it's like that crash together where this one jumps at the same time that this one rises. And they come together. That's what I'm getting here. In a very passionate moment here. There's been a lot of reflecting here. The bottom of the deck is the raccoon, and again he looks like he's in the rain with the camel. And beneath the raccoon is the oyster, who's also, you know, closed up in their shell, busy making their pearl from their wounds, licking their wounds, but they're sealed off right here. So the oyster's sealed, and the raccoon's in the rain, right? They're not going through the trash right now. They're kind of feeling blue. Because we're in Cancer season. We're busy making our pearls. We're doing home projects because that's a very Cancer-y thing to do. So if someone's being moody, like don't take it personally, it's Cancer season. We have the splitting of not the bulls, but the camel and the bear as Cancer leaves to go into Leo. But it's very interesting that it's coming up as camel and a bear, because bear isn't the usual Leo symbol, but that's what's coming up for Leo right now. So not only are you dealing with Cancer season, but as we go into Leo, you're still going to be feeling some of that moodiness from Leo, which you normally wouldn't feel in Leo. But it's because there's so much energy coming in, it's going to really drain people in that way. So again, too much rain in Cancer, too much sun is a bear, and then the sting of the stingray and the venom of the spider. So watch out what you wish for is what I'm getting right now. Right? Don't get trapped in their trap of the stinger or the web of lies, the deceit. And then again, there's this energy of pouncing and rising all at the same time into 0 point, like where it disappears all of a sudden. It's very interesting that way. But that's your lower chakra system, very safety and security energy, but also sexual energy and confidence, like like merging all three of those things all at the same time, but between two energies, which then come together as one at 0 point. And that could be like where Cancer meets Leo. So the 17th is becoming up as important, but also the change from Cancer to Leo, which I'm not sure which day, if it's the 22nd or 23rd. But there may be a reference to that around the 17th, that it seems like it's the change into Leo on the 17th, which is that important day. So there could be definitely rainy day blues right now because of Cancer, and then the heat being a bear of Leo, that Leo energy of the sun. And don't get caught up in the whips and the chains, like the spider web and the stingray, the whips and the chains, the lies, the wicked web we weave, and the need to pounce on something before it goes up in a puff of smoke. That's what I'm getting too from the cheetah and the phoenix. But that can reference a cheater here who ghosts. That could be a ghosting cheetah. But it also could be a sexual union of sorts there too as well. So let's see what the journey of love comes up with. Very interesting today. And I just looked at my eagle. The eagle's coming up as important, like, because the phoenix here, I'm getting the eagle instead here. The cheetah and the eagle. I don't know, it's not football season, so. I'm getting like my eagle is protecting their nest. Right? They don't trust, because I told you in my viewings, especially in the egg, was the eagle who had lost their mate, and so they have a hard time trusting other people. And I'm getting the eagle here, in Cancer, really being protective of their egg, their family, their home, their children, that kind of stuff. And the eagle also is, very United States and Philadelphia. The land of the free and the home of the brave. The braves, the Indians, the shaman, the American Indians. Gifts received of nature. Okay, here's the orbs coming up, the 13 of transition, transformation, and again, gifts received. Be aware of your gifts. And then 2 more cards came up together. They're both very simple. The 14 of the falling, the feather, be light as a feather when you fall, and the 57 of the separation of the lovers. The gifts of the fall of the lovers. And we're coming upon fall in a month or so, so let's see what else is coming up here for you guys. The bottom of the deck, hold on, there's 2 more cards that want to be seen. The legacy of light's the bottom of the deck, which is 53, which is the Knight of Swords, which is the messenger of truth, or the knight in shining armor, or just that militant warrior as well, coming in very quickly. And there's very much energy of Jesus, but kind of like holding the light, but holding a sleeping bag or a blanket or something as well, holding on to the warmth, perhaps holding others and keeping them warm as well, because this looks like a couple people being cuddled because they're really cold. And then here we have the breaking of the 65, which is the King of Pentacles, and the crashing, where they crash and fall together within the vortex. Like it's all of a sudden, it's not expected. It's like the cheetah and the phoenix coming together, right? The phoenix rises and the cheetah falls. Ah, that's what it is. The phoenix rises, the cheetah falls, but they crash. It's like the song Crash, where they crash together in the breaking of it all. The legacy of light of the Knight of Swords, which is the messenger of truth crashing into the knight in shining armor. How do you like that? All right, so besides the first 3 cards that came up, we also have these 2 wanting to be seen. Across the Waters, which is today's number, the 23 of the King of Wands. And this came up yesterday too, where she is now strong enough to stand in the cyclone and yet be unaffected by it. She's in the vortex and in the wall at the same time, waiting on her man. And these are very much the similar energies there of the choice that's made of being there for their person, right? Trusting themselves above all else across the choice, the waters, the choice across the waters. The 62 is the prison, right? It's always your choice whether you want to be in the prison or out of the prison. In the prison or out of the prison. It's always your choice. And it's like sitting on the fence right there, you know, ready to go either way, whenever the opportunity comes. The choice here. And then here's like the tunnel of the vortex here. You never know when that next wave is going to come rushing in. And then this starts going crazy again. It's like you never know when the wave comes in and washes the divine feminine away. It's like this, the 23 is the divine masculine, it's the king of wands across the waters, right? If you don't cross those emotional waters, which is always your choice, if you sit on the fence and don't make that choice, you know, the divine feminine could get washed away. You never know what's going to happen in the next now moment. What am I getting there too? I'm getting like the tidal wave and the green room, like a surfer's wave, where it makes a tunnel. Right? So in the surfer's wave, it doesn't stay like that in a circle, like in a loop. It eventually ends. So when the cyclone dies down, what then? If you can't find them in the cyclone anymore, it means you can't find them at 0 point anymore. You've lost your opportunity to be in the vortex with them. That's very interesting coming up. All right, so but the first 3 cards are about the gifts. Like, use your gifts, see your gifts. See that what you see every day on this earth is a gift. See the orbs that you're seeing. See, you know, this is also reflecting what I see in the clouds and the trees all the time and show you. Saying, see the gifts that are being given to you. The transition, the transformation, the endings, the nature, the being light as a feather and allowing yourself to fall, allowing it to just be black and white and being simple. Don't make it something more than it is or complicated. And we have, you notice the 13th and the 14th is the transition into the new, which is then the temperance of being patient and balanced and in that higher love energy, allowing the fall. And this is very fall energy as well. So we're getting energies of coming into the fall because they just told you Cancer is going to be very bluesy and Leo is going to be a bear of a time because of the heat. So the next is then Virgo, going in from August to September, which then brings in your gifts received. Being light as a feather, and the lovers in separation, but yet not, right? Because the lovers here are together in the vortex, right? Not losing that opportunity when it's presented. And then when September comes, when the fall comes, everything will lighten up and be more clear and more simple. It's like all of a sudden the cyclone, it's like once you meet in the cyclone then ends. There's no more hurricane anymore. And then it becomes more simple and easy to be with each other. It's like the timing had to be now because the energies weren't right for this to happen in a very easy way before. It would have been a very tumultuous relationship, and it's 4:44 on the clock. So a lot of the twin unions haven't come in together yet because the energies weren't right. The timelines were a little bit off. And they just, now it's going to be simple. Because once you get through the July and August energy of Cancer and Leo, and you get to the Virgo or the virginal energy, all of a sudden it becomes light and clear. Okay? Everything becomes clear. That separation is an illusion, right? We tell you that over and over again. So even though the number is separation, it's telling you they're not separated, they're together. The separation was always an illusion. And then we have again, reminding you that she's sitting there in the vortex of the Tasmanian devil, but the cyclone will die down eventually. So make sure you're aware of the opportunities presented, right? Where the phoenix rises and the cheetah falls. This is where the 0 point comes together, and where the cyclone then dies down in the fall. Okay? Very cool. All right, I have to read to you. The first card out was the Cross the Waters 23, which is the number today. And Her Grace just popped up. Across the waters. You're being called across the waters, as if crossing a bridge of light from one ocean to a far greater one. These waters are your emotional waters, holding your feelings, your attitudes, your expectations, and your fears and doubts, as well as your hopes and dreams. It can seem like such a lot to navigate. Sometimes our waters feel overcrowded, as if swarms of people were descending into the ocean on a sweltering hot day, which just came up regarding August, hardly finding peace in the water to cool ourselves. We can feel as though there's just no room for faith, trust, peace, or love. There's just too much happening in that water. We yearn for the cool, cool rain. That's coming up from Roger Daltrey. We yearn for the cool, calm mountain lake, the serene, the giving, the echoing, a gentle dispensation of grace. Okay, so the mountains were also coming up significantly today. You're being called across the waters, out from an overcrowded sea into the cool spaciousness of the endless lake. So it is time to let go of some of the mental clutter, some attitudes, thoughts. Ask for help and bathe yourself in the green and gold rays of healing color. Just imagine them cascading down around you and through you like a waterfall. It's a bit like you're moving to a new neighborhood in a cleaner and more spacious town. It might be a bit unfamiliar at first, but soon enough you'll enjoy the difference, all right? So the air is getting cleared, the vortex is getting cleared for you to enter. You know, it's like the well waters being purified. This oracle brings you a message. It's your time to think about something in a different light. Soon you will have a shift in perspective, and the feeling of overwhelm, stress, and just too much going on will be replaced with serene trust and peacefulness. Know that beneath even the most chaotic mind is a place of deep, quiet serenity within. Do whatever helps you dive deep and find it. Dance, take some rest, meditate, do yoga, write, paint, make love, make music. In that quiet serenity within, you'll be leaving unnecessary chaos behind, and you'll be presented with a gift of a new way forward. Inhaling the soft scent of promised taste, the nectar moist upon my lips, I savor each sip across my tongue, dwelling in the moment's pleasure, warm and sweet. Bathed in tingling thirst, I find myself wanting you and wanting more. Make sure to drink the purified water. Drink the water, get your rest and your joy in nature. And as always, rise and be loved, guys. I will see you soon. Have an amazing day.